What is up, guys? Tony here for Geek Legion Games. Did not make top 32, unfortunately. We're here to talk about some Wargreymon X Antibody for the Ultimate Cup. New rules came in and what has yous, and I like them. We don't need to talk about them because everyone knows at this point. I'll throw a picture up here and there if I do or do not. But we're gonna make a one deck per the color pool. Obviously, we'll make a white one, which will be Reaper, because Reaper is gonna be gross. No Death X's. Yeah, it's just going to be a good white deck to go into. But first one up is going to be Wargreymon. I think this deck, other than Red Hybrid, is going to be one of the top decks to go in. I'm not going to say it's the best one. There's obviously different ones, but for Red, I think this one will probably be the best one because it could just cut through the security like butter and then just push out a raising next turn and swing for game. But before we get and talk about that, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And also, too, if you guys are, still missing some cards, whatever, go ahead and check out our website, www.geekleadersgames.com. I'll throw it on the screen here. However, I'm going to put it up there. Save, and when you go up to $20, whatever, you can save on shipping. You don't have to worry about that like on TCG. I know it's for $1.50, but you want to save that $1.50 buck, go ahead and check out the store and, buy me out. But without further ado, let's get with the deck profile. Alright, on with the deck profile. We're only running 4 eggs. Obviously, you saw it in the front here. We're just running the draw Koromons here. If you do want to run the DP, these guys right here, you can run like 2 of these, 3 of these for 5 eggs, or 3 of these, 2 of these, wherever has yous. But we're running a lot of, obviously the promo Agumon. We do have the Greymon DP boosts, and then we have our X Antibody Metal Greys that give DP boosts. So we don't really need the egg to have DP boosts. So the 4 eggs here is pretty much all we need. And also, too, like, you're going to be one-shotting them, so having 5 eggs is not really necessary. On to the rookies. Running the standard 4 promos here of the Agumon, giving plus 2,000 to our stack. We don't have to worry about obviously we're not running Omnimon because it's a white Digimon, and we cannot have that in this list. So we're always going to have on our turn plus 2,000 if it's in this heritable. Up next after that, we got our nice promos. We picked this up while at PPG. We have our Searcher Agumon here. Look at the top 3 cards. You may pull a Greymon or an Omnimon. Obviously, we're not going to be pulling an Omnimon, so it's going to be finding our level 4s, 5s, and 6s. Then after that, we have our last of our rookies. We have our Agumon X Antibodies. We also picked these up. We're trying to max rarity, if you haven't seen it here. I've been hit on the max rarity paying train. So we have our Went Digibomb, and we're on play. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may look for a Greymon or Omnimon or X Antibody. Unfortunately, we can't play X Antibody either because it's also a white card. So this is basically as a searcher, look for a Greymon and then go for it from there. Up next after that, don't pay attention to the normal Greymon here. We have our nice one right there. We're only running 2 of the Win Digi Game 1 Memory Greymon with an also neat inheritable, giving plus 2,000 to our turn. To enable, we go into our security. If we don't have the promo Agumon here, we at least have this to go into the security for 15k at the start of our turn. Just make sure it stays alive to do all the checks. Up next after this, we have a playset of the Greymon Security Plus Greymon. I said his name twice, sorry about that. But this is a must. If you want to OTK with this, you want to run all 4 of these. If you really want to more run of these, you can run 2 or 3, but maxing out a 4 is the way to go if you want to ensure the win. Then lastly after that, running the older Greymon X Antibody. This X Antibody is just going to be better because obviously we don't have the X Antibody option card, so no reason to run the new Greymon X Antibody because it just, the inheritable does nothing. So reverting back to this, the all turns, if our Digimon would be deleted by an effect or bounce to hand or deck, we can go ahead and trash 2 sources. So we're going to be building up in the back, mostly into our level 5, then pushing out, and then having a bid stack, so it'll take a couple tries for them to try to get rid of our stack. Up next for level 5, we're only wanting a single copy of the EX1 Metal Greymon here. I just have this here because you can have this when attacking. You can just pop a little 4k or less. But we're not really here for that. We're here for the piercing effect, because sometimes we can, if they have a blocker or whatever, and we have this in our stack and we're swinging and it's big and they block, we can go ahead and still do the checks and gain memory, of course. So that's why we're only running one copy. It's not really necessary, but it is neat to have. Up next after that, running 3 of the Metal Greymon Altarius modes. More often than not, this is going to be in your hand going up after this, which is completely fine. You just Digivolve this in the back if they got nothing to really pop outside the field. But if you do bring this attack early and you have enough memory with our Mem Boost, of course, or they just give you a substantial amount, you go ahead and Digivolve. We have a Tamer out in the field and just pop something for 5,000 or less. Then lastly, for level 5, we're running a full set of the X Antibody Metal Greymon here, which will give us our security +1 just when Digivolving, but also if this has Metal Greymon or X Antibody, but forget about X Antibody right now. If we have the Metal Greymon, which is these 4 cards right here, we'll also gain 3,000 DP for the turn, which is awesome. So if we get 3,000 DP here, 2,000 here, and 2,000 here, we basically have jamming. There'll be no Digimon in the security that's going to blow up our stack. The only thing we'll be worrying about is options, but we'll have these covered. Up next for level 6s, we're running 3 copies of the Wargreymon here. I basically upped this up because if we were playing with Omnimons or whatever, this would be at a 2, but since we're not, we up the amount here. I'm just stuttering, I apologize. But we have 1 Digibomb and you gain +1 security, so we can go up the whole line. Up here, we'll have 1 check, 2 check, 3 checks, and then whatever how many tires we have out here, so 4 or 5. And then your turn, this Digimon can activate security skills in the opponent's side of in their stack. So it can check, obviously Tamers and all that because they eroded it, but no options. So delicate plan on a stick. Very nice. So when you do go up against Sencon, this is going to be their worst nightmare. Up next after that, we have 4 copies of the Wargreymon X Antibody. So we did you out for 1 from the Wargrey. So if you're not afraid of like any kind of options, if you have like the entire, if you have all 3 of these and 1 of these in here, you have enough to spit away, that's cool. Unless you're afraid of going again with DP stuff. But anyway, moving forward, all turns. When a card is removed from its opponent's security, gain 1 memory. So even though if there was some magical way they took something out, like they're playing their TKs, if they're trying to recover that way by looking through whatever, and they're at 0 whatever, they take a card, put it away, you can gain a memory off that, which is really neat. Has come up a couple times and people do forget. End of attack, if you have Wargreymon or X Antibody, again, forget about X Antibody, you get to delete one of your opponent's Digimon outside of the field with DP less than or equal to this Digimon. So if we have 3,000, 2,000, this, you can blow up whoever on the field. You can blow up, you can even blow up level 7s at that point. That's it for the Digimon. We're going for the Tamers here. We have our 3 ties. This basically is our memory setter. And security +1 for having 4 more Digi-Evolutions. So having multiple copies of this out in the field, whatever, and even if you don't have these out, you're basically one-shotting. So 1 or 2 of these out to spill, like, I'm going to OTK you, and then I'll swing with whatever Digimon I have in the field, or next turn, if you're able to pass turn, and they have nothing left, you've got a whole stack security, they have to try to figure out that turn or less they lose. Up next after that, running 2 copies of Hero. This is basically here if for some reason we don't have any of our Digimon that have our DP buffs, this at least gives us +2,000 to make it in for 13. Well, 13 here, but if we don't have this, obviously, sometimes it can happen, but that's what he's here for. This could be if you guys favor 4 ties and then whatever we have Marcus 2 that gains you memory. You can go ahead and do either or, but I kind of like the Hero for the extra DP buffs. 2 of the options. I might be able to fit it somewhere here. We'll just keep going down until the glare hits us. We're running 3 copies of the Red Mem Boost. These are just basically our extra rookies on sticks here to look at the top 4 cards and pull a red Digimon. The whole deck's red, so we'll pull whatever. And then we have a delay effect, gain 2 memory, which is really nice. Up next after that, running 3 copies. Yeah, see, there's the glare, but that's fine. It's doable. We got 3 copies in Crimson Blaze. There's going to be decks out there that are rookie rushing you, like Commandramon. The Poop deck, Entmon deck is going to be running around out there because it's primary black, but it shares yellow, so that can also be running around. And whatever, and also Hydramon. Hydramon's going to be the big green deck to beat. So this deck pretty much checks all that. They, basically wipe the whole board out, and then they can't, spit Digimon from their hands. So this card effectively slows their entire turn. And then lastly, we have 2 Gaia Forces here, but they're supposed to be Gaia Force Zeros. For some reason, I just don't have them. Gaia Force Zero, just forget what this card is. It's Gaia Force Zero, guys. Once I get Gaia Force Zero, this is what it's going to be. But for now, it's Gaia Force. Gaia Force Zero will be able to, if you have your entire stack out and they have a big blocker and you can't get around it, go ahead and just pop it, and you're able to swing that turn. And rather than give them like an obscene amount of memory, you can check their whole security, and then obviously checking security, you're gaining memory back. So you're playing a big spell for cheap at that point. But that'll be it for the deck profile. This is for the Ultimate Cup. I won't put a segment part 2 of what this deck will look like without the restrictions, like with Cool Boys, whatever. But I could definitely put it in the comments below if you guys are wishing that what this deck could be with Cool Boys and X Antibodies and any other card that obviously would be in here that can't be, unfortunately. But don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to check the store out. You can save that $1.50 if you spend $20 or more, and it looks neater than looking on TCG, of course. But without further ado, we'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to get your geek on.